The top of the Empire State Building.
Z100, New York.
The coffee is kicked in. It's Z100's Artist Interview Lounge presented by Grubhub, Maxwell and Crystal, and Kelly Clarkson in the building.
All right. All right, I'm here. Caffeinated.
Good morning,
Caffeinated.
Kelly.
Yes. I look awake, right?
Yes, you're fine.
Yeah.
But you're used to
Team of
hectic
people.
schedules. I
Yes,
mean,
yes.
Going from American Idol season 1
Yeah.
to now on your 10th album. Congratulations.
It's so many albums, right?
Grammy Awards,
Yeah.
your own show, kids.
It's a crazy, now that you're, on paper, it's a lot.
Are you sure that coffee is large enough?
Yeah, I know, right? Don't worry. I'll keep hydrated with that.
I mean, I want to start on a positive note.
Yeah.
Because what would you say to Kelly that's trying out for season 1 of American Idol now?
I don't know that I'd really say anything, just because I like how, even the hard stuff, it turned out how it did because it was supposed to. But I guess, I don't know. I feel like I did all right. Like I've stood up for myself when I feel like I needed to. I don't know. I feel like I like everything. So maybe I ought to just shut my mouth and just listen to her or something. Like instead of giving her advice, be like, what's my advice so I don't get jaded? Like, what's your advice for me?
What has this journey been like? I mean, for you to be in the space now. How about this? How about the heaviest question that we might ask today? How is your heart? How happy are you right now?
Yeah, I'm actually, I don't know. I'm just, it's one of those things. I think when you can sometimes lose yourself in certain points of your life or in relationships or whatnot. And man, when you find yourself again, it's really nice. And it's beautiful. Like everybody, I feel like this whole promo trip, people have been asking me if I'm dating. I didn't know people were that interested. But I'm not, and I'm not because you kind of date yourself again. You kind of like allow yourself to have, especially when you're a single parent and got a lot of jobs and there's just a lot that you're holding down. So it's, there's not a lot of time in general, for much, but, taking care of yourself has been like the biggest lesson for me for the past 3 years. So
do that.
Yeah.
Way
I don't
to
think we
damn
do that.
go.
We like live to work a lot of times, which is not good.
Well, we hear that message in your new album, Chemistry. Congratulations.
Yeah.
It starts off like heavy. You're
Little
talking
sad.
about how I kind of just want to get over this part.
Yeah, you want to skip this part. Yeah.
Skip this
Matter of fact,
part.
I didn't even listen to the song because it said skip this part. So
I
I was like,
know.
all right, I'm going
I was
to track
like-
number 2. Like,
I
all right,
know.
she said
I was like,
all
what
right.
if I named the album that? And they were like, all right.
But then you do take us on a journey where you do, like you said, date yourself, love yourself. With Me, I loved hearing that.
And even
turnaround
that's
record.
right. Yeah, there's different vibes on the record, definitely, of like what stages you're at in a relationship, like either the beginning or the end. So yeah, it takes you on a roller coaster ride, but it's definitely intense. I would say the album's pretty intense.
Were you very cognizant of that, like wanting to share these stories because it was maybe the opportunity to be, super vulnerable, to be truthful, to be honest, to get that energy out and release it and let everyone else kind of, gather their heart in their stories built around what you had gone through?
I didn't write this like thinking I was going to put an album out. Like I'm just a writer for me, like selfishly, like that's how I process things of like what I'm feeling and what I should do, or just even, I don't know if you saw the movie Memento, but it's almost like these are little messages and reminders of me too, of like what not to fall prey to again, like what those red flags, like what is that? So, it's different for me. I ended up deciding like I'd put out anything on the album, like any song that I wrote that I felt like that information was already kind of out there, and then I left everything else alone.
For sure.
But I don't know. It's interesting. I was just talking about this earlier. Like I wrote these like 2.5 to 3 years ago, so I'm at a different place. Like, you asked me, I'm happy. You'd asked me that a couple years ago. I was like, happiness died.
And
so,
by the way, it's okay to be in that moment.
And it is.
Yes.
I think too, because people always perceive me as bubbly and happy all the time, and I am generally. Like I'm a pretty optimistic person, but there are times like when, especially during COVID, your life's falling apart. No one knows. You're trying to make everyone smile on a talk show. You're releasing music. It's a lot. So sometimes you don't want to smile, and that's okay. So, and that's also why, like you brought it up, like other people, I hope like what, Happier Than Ever, Billie Eilish's song, or Lucious's album. I called them Luscious. Lucious's album, especially that Second Nature album, really got me through my hard time. So I hope this does that for people.
It
Yeah,
will.
I hope so.
That's the best part of being a songwriter. It will.
And I've heard you say that you were really particular about the songs you picked on the album because you have people involved, like your
kids.
Kids.
Yeah.
So have they asked you about your album? Have you talked to them about it?
They don't. It's so funny. Like I don't want to be that tool mom that like plays her music for them. So like you know what I'm saying. Like I'm like if you find it cool, but like they already come to my shows sometimes. But like I don't generally get in the car and go listen to Mommy's Jam. Like you know. Yeah. It's like they're not. Yeah. I mean I'm usually listening to like other artists with them, which is cool because they introduce me to stuff that they find. But no, they don't. I don't even know if they've heard some of them. But not like, you know, I think they've heard like Favorite Kind of High maybe, but because I was like going over mixing and mastering and they were happen to be in the car or something, but I don't generally listen to my stuff with them because they're 7 and 9.
I want to ask you, a while back, I think we had a conversation. We were talking about, you know, all the accolades and Crystal brought it up, you know, but is their favorite award still the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Blimps?
No, their favorite just award and that's in life is like ice cream.
Oh my god!
like literally, I took my daughter to. I feel like was it the People's Choice or it was people.
One of them.
I was like, shoot, I'm so sorry. I feel like it was People's Choice Awards, and I ended up winning. And my daughter, you know, everybody was like, she was so proud of you, and I was like, she was, but she was more excited that right after that she knew she was getting ice cream. She was like, because she said if you win, we should get ice cream, and I was like, oh, so you win something, and I've done the hard work, awesome. Yeah, so no, they're kids. They're impressed by me. They're very supportive and sweet, but like we don't invest in a lot of like Kelly Clarkson time at the house.
At the crib. That's not happening. Hey, speaking of like at the crib and moving to New York, this is a big deal. I mean, we're going
My son is so excited.
You know what I mean? From the West Coast to the East Coast. And you had
very
mentioned
different.
recently, that it's a bit because it was lonely in California.
100%.
Or was it because being out here with all the family, you have like built-in babysitters all the time? Like what is it really?
No, it's not that. It's I miss my family. I think
Yeah.
COVID kind of pointed that out too, of like how quick life can be taken and how just a lot of that came in perspective, and especially around a huge divorce in my life. So it's never been I'm not hating on LA, I promise.
No.
Like there are really cool parts about
We're
it.
both California kids.
Hey, and I'm just saying, like, there are really awesome parts about it, so I'm not pooping on that. The weather's awesome. You can grow anything at any time. I love that. But I've never wanted to live there.
Yeah.
Like, I got stuck there because of the talk show.
Yeah.
Like, you know, even doing The Voice, I could go in and out. So it was really cool of NBC. Like, I called and I was like, I can't, like, for my emotional health, I can't stay here anymore. Like, I have to get closer to family. I need a fresh start.
Yeah.
Unless you want to do this at my ranch in Montana, New York is the option, I believe.
Right around the corner from here. We're talking 30 Rock, baby.
I know.
Yes.
It's such an amazing studio. I got to see it. I got to walk through it, meet some of my crew. It was awesome.
Handshaking. You nervous about it? Excited about it?
I'm not nervous at all. I'm so excited.
Word.
I love my team. We're bringing a lot of people that, you know, my crew from LA, and then there's new crew in New York, and my band's excited, you know, just because it's something fresh for us as well. You know, because we were used to touring and being on the road a lot, and then we're very stagnant for a while, so it's cool. It kind of changes it up.
For sure.
We love to see that you're continuing your talk show, your residency in Vegas, and thank you so much for coming back to our iHeartRadio Music Festival this year.
Absolutely. That's happening as well. Yes,
in Vegas.
Yes, I'm doing a lot in Vegas this summer. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, maybe you're gonna take the kids for ice cream afterwards. Not
Yeah.
sure yet.
Like we're only going if we're promised ice cream.
But what can we see you do on stage for our festival?
I think what I'm excited about, honestly, it sounds silly, but I haven't toured in a minute. So playing these Vegas shows, playing iHeart, like I am just as excited to play the hits as I am the new music because we haven't played them much. So we did a couple surprise hits at the show I did in Belasco Theater in LA when I played the whole record, this Chemistry, and I'd never done that before, and we surprised the fans at the show with a couple hits, and it was like we got off stage and all my band, we were like, that was actually we haven't played those in so long, like that was like felt really good. Like so I want to get drunk off that energy. So I'm very excited about just simply playing some of the old stuff that I haven't played in a while, and also everybody getting, I think things sound better live for me as an artist, so I like that experience for people.
Hey, I can't let this continue on without talking about how amazing it's been to watch you on The Voice and spinning around in the chair and all that good stuff. And not too long ago, this is a little bit of a surprise to you too, Crystal. We had one of your co-coaches in here, Mr. Niall Horn.
Oh, I'm aware. I just took everywhere he went on his promo tour for the show, his album, he would see my picture and he'd flip me off because Blake started it on our group text, and he'd always send a picture. He'd be like, Kelly is such, whatever. He'd say something and do this picture. He's flipping me off, and so Niall did it on his whole thing. So everywhere I've been, I've been taking pictures and flipping. I just did it. He's about to get a slew of pictures of me flipping him off, and then
Oh, he said this,
I love him,
Kelly. He said this about you when he was sitting in that very chair. Okay, take a listen.
I never want to sing with Kelly Clarkson ever again. She's too good, man. Too good. She's crazy.
All right.
She's so good.
She's so good.
We'll just be like walking around backstage, and everything that comes out of her mouth, you're like, what the hell? I love Kelly. She's the best. I'd probably cover one of hers.
Okay, fair enough.
Breakaway.
Breakaway.
What a tune.
So we were playing a game that we were asking, would it be duet, cover, or B-side? And he said he would probably cover your song.
He is so weird about, I'm like, you need to be so, I'm like, do you realize, I literally text him, like, do you realize who you are? Like, you've got like an amazing voice. We were literally both on singing competitions. Like, I'm like, what is wrong with you? Anyway, but he always has this thing, like he was like, could you suck in your duet? Like, so it makes me feel better. I'm like, no, I'm going to like try my best and you're going to do awesome too. I was like, he is so funny about me singing. Even like the group song, like he was like, our group song, he was like sitting next to me, he was like, Jesus. And I was like, you sound incredible. What is happening with you? I don't think he's like not self-aware. Like, I'm like, do you hear the decibel difference when you enter the room and me, Blake, and Chance do? Like, it's a whole different level. It's like Prince entered. It's like
the question I want to ask is, how fun is it to be able to be amongst co-coaches, but they're family now and friends, and you guys have this group chat that has become such an amazing experience, and being around just like-minded family and friends.
I think it's fun when you run into other artists that you click with right away.
Yeah.
And honestly, for me, I mean, obviously Blake's one of those people for me. People know that. But like Chance and Niall, what an amazing, because it's a rough commute. Like, I'm not saying I'm never going to do The Voice again, but that was, pretty much my last moment for a minute too. So what a way, like, for Blake and I get to end it with two guys that are just so fun. And right off the bat, we had like great chemistry, for lack of a better word. Wasn't trying to promote myself, but great chemistry, great like just, I don't know, the vibe is really good, and that doesn't always happen.
For sure.
So it's like special, I think, when it does. But he's he's like the southern version of an Irish kid. So he's like, so we get along very well. Like, he's like that. There. So yeah, so we all, pretty much give each other hell from the get-go. So
And speaking of your peers that you get to work with, we always like to ask this question about maybe biopics one day. If you could be an actress in a biopic from an artist that you've always looked up to, who would you like to play?
Ooh, probably Linda Ronstadt.
Wow.
I love her.
Yeah, I mean, I think just because we have a lot in common in the sense of she covered a lot of different genres. Yeah. She sang in different languages. I think
huge for my Mexicano culture. Have you ever?
Yes, and here's the thing: I didn't even know that until, because I grew up on her and I knew she sang a lot of different things, but like, I didn't grow up in different cultures, but I grew up singing different languages because I sang opera. So like, I literally started that way, like in my singing world. So I ended up finding that out. I was like, man, she nails the enunciation, like everything, the how to pronounce everything, like everything is perfect with her. And I had no idea her background. I thought it was so cool how she was pretty much one of the most inclusive artists right off the bat. She covered so much ground, and she kind of blurred the lines between singer-songwriter, country music, pop, and rock. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? And still soulful at the same time. Like, yeah, I like her a lot. She's one of my favorites.
What would it mean to you to know that the same way that you are giving her flowers, that you have so many people who do the same for you?
And some are standing right outside the building. You have so many fans here.
Yeah.
No,
what does that mean to you?
That's really cool. That's not like lost on me. I haven't gotten to that point. I think, sometimes people get to a point where you maybe don't see it anymore or whatever, but I haven't gotten to that point. It's still really cool. Even if you're tired, even if you're whatever, it's still cool to like run into people that I've had fans literally I hung out with last night at this piano bar, Sid's, by the way. And we were hanging out and singing together. And a lot of those fans have been with me since Idol. Wow. So like, I've seen them grow up. They've seen me grow up. So it is interesting. Like, it's cool.
It's because you give us you.
Yeah, and we see that humility. I mean, you're out in the subways singing with fans here in New York City.
Yeah.
How fun was that?
I was like, those are going to be great acoustics. We got to do that. So, yeah.
Right?
It's like, if we're going to go around and, like, sing some place, I pick some. Yeah. And what's the favorite place that we pick? That's my favorite place. Bethesda? Is it? No, the fountain where you can where you can row in Central Park.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
right.
underneath
It's
that
underneath
ton.
the
It sounds
bridge,
so beautiful. I just got here. I can't remember the names of everything yet. But it's like so beautiful. People play in there all the time. That's what I love about this city. You walk in the park and you just hear different musicians or singers or things happening.
So excited to see and feel all that stuff come to life with the show, with these upcoming seasons of the show. The stories that you're telling on the album are beautiful. I don't know why you chose to put all the titles lowercase. Is there a purpose? Or it just looks
It's
cooler?
so interesting. I just saw that, and because we've been like really adamant about keeping everything lowercase.
It looks cool.
And I can't remember my initial reason.
Oh,
I know. Okay, it just hit me.
It just hit her, but she's not going to tell us.
That's a little private answer that I didn't even remember that was so secret.
That's one of those when you hide your keys, you don't remember.
I was like, man, I hid it in a really good place.
But there is a purpose. But
yes, there is a purpose. I
just like
just
every
completely
word-
forgot it because I've had 4 hours of sleep.
But just like every word in every song, there is a purpose. There's a reason. There's
and
a
the
truth.
features on the song. Sheila E. Is
Oh my God.
Come on, fam.
incredible.
I got Sheila E. to say yes. I got Steve Martin to
Martin
say
to
yes.
say-
What?
He's playing banjo on I Hate Love. Like
I never played banjo.
dude, he's won more Grammys than me. Like
Oh, yeah, of course.
he's like incredible. I don't know. I just couldn't believe he said yes. But no, it was already a special album for me, and I had no inclination of asking anyone to be a part of it or anything. Ask. It just happened naturally. Like I wrote That's Right, and I was like, man, I hear Sheila on this. Like we've played together a couple times, and I was like, her percussion would be so incredible on this. And like even the banjo thing, like I thought it would be a cool idea on a song I mentioned. I referenced Steve on, and anyway, I love that I just said Steve. Like I'm so candid. I've never met Steve Martin, and I'm like candid with it. Anyway, but I just me and Steve. But it's just incredible. It makes it more special, and it's cool that they said yes because it made it more special for me. So.
What kind of conversation did you have with Sheila E. to get her on?
Well,
there?
I
was blown
texted her.
away.
We text each other. So like I just that was a little more simple for me. That was a random ask for the Steve Martin thing. And like I ask people to do stuff, and there's no's all the time for whatever reason, and you get it because like sometimes I have to say no for whatever rhyme or reason. But I literally did not expect him to say yes, and I sent an email and found out who his publicist was, and like literally went through channels, and it got to him, and he said yes, and I couldn't be there the day they recorded, he and Jesse, my producer, because I was doing the TV show. It doesn't happen. I wanted to cancel. I wanted to fake it and be like, I have COVID. I can't come in. Like I can't. Like that's a horrible thing to say. But I was like, how do I fake a sickness where I can like go to this?
But it made it on the album. That's all that matters.
I know. One day I'll meet him. Yeah.
Promise is gonna happen for sure.
I
Oh my
hope
God.
so.
These are real tears of joy. These are real tears of laughter. And every time you step into a room, as I'm sure so many people have let you know, the light it shines, it radiates, and again, it goes back to just you being you. And thank you for amazing just heart energy that you have given the world and that you continue to, because we definitely need it.
Well,
Seriously.
thank you.
I'm like, this is the best morning.
Oh.
And we don't wake up this early either, girls.
You had some good coffee. That's what happened.
That's
that's what
pretty
happened.
much it.
Yeah.
It just kicked in
You're like,
right there.
my latte was popping.
One time, give her a round of applause, y'all. This is
Bye,
the beautiful,
y'all.
the wonderful Miss Kelly Clarkson.
From the top of the Empire State Building.
Z100.